Evening, everybody, and welcome. We are Todd and Tina Stevens, and it is such an honor and a privilege to be able to just come before you tonight and to share a little bit of our story. We are from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and but we are coming to you live tonight from Colorado. We've had the privilege to be able to come out and spend a little time in the mountains today, and well, close to the mountains, and hang out with family and just enjoy some gorgeous weather out here in Colorado. And so, before we begin, I just want to just express, a huge amount of gratitude to the Chua family, to Bernie, for coming up with this idea of, adding the number one superfood on planet Earth into something that I would say that most of the world does in drinking coffee. And so just thank you for your family. Thank you for your dedication, for your leadership, and for this incredible opportunity. Yeah. Also, just want to give a special shout out to the Rakowski family. Bob and Kelly Rakowski have been an integral part of our success with their leadership and their guidance and their the example that they have been for us, for Jacob and for Megan. Just thank you guys so much. You mean the world to us and to our family. And so with that, we say thank you. Tonight, and I couldn't go without mentioning all the friends that we've made, since we've decided to be a part of the organic family. We've made just a large number of friends from around the world, and they, I can't mention everybody by name, but you know who you are. And just thank you for, the example that you set, for the motivation that you instill, and just for being our friends.
Camaraderie.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so tonight, we hope to, in the brief amount of time that we have with you tonight, to hopefully inspire you with our story. And then we're also going to give you just a few tips that we've found to help us with our success once we decided to really dig in and make this a business. And so we hope that you will find value in that. And I think that just by being on this call, that you're coachable, teachable, and trainable.
Yeah.
And so tonight we're going to share with you, some tips that we found helpful in time management. And so.
Yeah. And so, yes, we want to congratulate you for being on this call. That is just a huge step, just that you have already taken the time, that you know that it's important, that you've carved this out. That's something we're going to share with you for a nugget tonight, is time management. And so just that you're here, I just want to congratulate you for that and say Thank you. And thank you for trusting us with your time. And so speaking of time, this next slide is just a little collage and kind of a snapshot of our family. We are married. We've been married for 20-something years. And we have a large family. We have 5 children. And on the bottom right corner there, you'll see us with all of our kids. And then now that family is starting to grow because our older ones are starting to date. And so you'll see some of their, the boyfriends, girlfriends, we have pets. We have very, very busy lives. We are also very involved in our church and in our community. And so we do a lot of serving. We are business owners. Todd is a chiropractor. We've been working together side by side, which fortunately for us works very well. We're able to do that, and we enjoy it, I think, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so we've been very blessed that we get to spend almost all of our time together, but it is very busy. And so when Todd came home with this coffee, I loved it. I absolutely loved the taste. I loved how it made me feel. But when he started to just kind of mention about doing it as a business, I was very closed-minded to it. And so if any of you out there watching this right now, you are in that position where you feel like, we just don't have the time for this. We're too busy. This call is for you, because that is exactly how I felt. I was so against doing anything more than what we were already doing. I'm a health coach. I do a weight loss program. And so we just plain didn't feel that we had the time.
So just kind of backing up a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit more how we got introduced to this, and she's being nice. When I brought this home, it's like, okay, what have you got now? So I
'Cause we've done
I
other
wouldn't tell
things.
you to discuss things with your spouse, but like Richard Branson says, if you're presented with an amazing opportunity and you just can't turn it down, you're not sure how you're going to do it, go ahead and do it and ask questions later. And that's kind of what I did in this situation, but and she's grateful for that. So I made the right choice, right? But anyway, so as she said, I'm a chiropractor, and so I have to do continuing education every year to maintain my license. And so I've been going to Dr. Bob Rakowski's seminars throughout the years for nutrition, for applied kinesiology, and things like that. And it was at one of his seminars that I was introduced to the spores initially. And I had hurt my ankle, and I'm at this seminar, and one of the doctors that was there, I had made mention of this, and he said, "Why don't you try some of these spores?" And I didn't know what the spores were. Long story short, I took the spores. He kind of explained what they were, and I think it was about 3 hours or so after I had taken them, I got up for a break, went walking around, and the pain in my ankle was completely gone. Now I'm not making any claims here, but it helped me with my ankle pain. So I thought, okay, what is this? And so we decided to go ahead and try the product. So we purchased some coffee, we purchased some spores, and started consuming the product. And we noticed some changes within our health right away. And so we started sharing it with our family. And across the board, people, our family was coming to us saying, can this help with this, or could it be the coffee? And we're like, I don't know, let's find out, try it, and then we're like, well, if it's working this well with us, and then with our family, we introduced it to some friends, and they noticed the same thing. And so it's like, okay, let's incorporate this into our practice. And so we did that.
Well, and you researched, because he's a researcher. So
I was going to leave that out.
He had stacks of research papers and stuff that he had done. So, he was diligent. He did his work, and he didn't jump into this without me. He did say, I feel very strongly about this, and that this is different, because we had tried other things before. And, that just wasn't something that I was interested in. It definitely wasn't something he was looking for. But the product happened. We were 100% sold on the product once we started using it, and once we started sharing it with people, and just getting story after story.
But you never know when the opportunity to share. Sorry for interrupting. Oh, and we interrupt each other a lot. So just so you know that. But you never know when the opportunity is going to present itself for you to share. So be prepared to share. Anywhere. Who would have thought? In the middle of a seminar, hey, my ankle hurts. Here, try this.
And it changed our lives.
Yeah, right. So, what were you saying?
So the next step. Well, I was just saying how you didn't jump in without. And he shared with me that I feel very strongly about this, and this is something that I really feel like we should do. And quite honestly, I just said, I support you 100%. I trust your judgment, but I don't want anything to do with it. And I ate my words later, because once I started using the products, and once I started sharing the products, I got so excited about them that I couldn't shut up about them.
Exactly.
And I was just, on fire. And so
we started sharing it with our patients. And the same thing happened. They're like, what is this? Well, then we, with all the research, I felt like everybody needed the research. So I was giving patients packets of information, which you don't need to do.
And I was like, they don't need that.
You just need to tell them, what it did for you, tell them the story, give them a coffee, try it. And so we got involved with the company. We bought the product. We bought one of the packs, and we sold, I think we bought a gold pack. And we sold everything. We started with the bronze. We started with the bronze pack.
Because we were really bold.
We jumped in it,
Yeah. We sold that right away.
We sold that in like a day and a half.
Then we're like, oh gosh.
So then we're like, we need more product.
Yeah.
So then we purchased the gold pack, and we sold that in a few days. And then we just started consistently, we're selling product, we're selling coffee, we're selling, the capsules and such. And it was just moving off of our shelves. Well, I guess that we weren't looking for this as a business. This was just something else for us to add to our patient care, because we're always looking for things to help our patients with their quality of life, to help them to feel better. And so we weren't even looking at the business. But then,
even when we bought our gold pack, I don't even think we really knew what a gold pack was.
Right. We just knew there was a lot of product in it.
Or that there was commissions to be paid or anything like that. We just knew we needed more products. And so what really changed things for us, and God bless you, Kelly Rakowski, because one day she reached out to me, and that's when things really changed, because she reached out and I was like, we've always had a ton of respect for Dr. Bob. I remember the first time I met him, I was kind of starstruck, to be honest with you, just because he's a genius, and we've been, learning from him and being mentored by him for so long. And, to have Kelly calling was like, well, what is this about? What is she calling for? And so then she explained to us about Go Diamond, and that was one of the events. And she just really encouraged us and said, it's important that you go. We absolutely knew that we were in a solid company. We knew we had a solid product. We knew that it worked. We knew that it did what it said it did. We knew it was good quality. 100% believers in that. And so we thought, well, why not go and learn more about the company itself?
See what it's all about.
We jumped in and we went to Go Diamond, and that was very, very, very eye-opening for us to be in that big stadium. And I remember just looking around and going, wow, like there are people here from all over the globe who are like-minded, health-oriented, goal-oriented, positive people who have dreams and ambitions and want to make something out of their lives and want more for their family. And I was like, we're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And
then after that ignited a fire. So we were just on fire after that. We came back from that event, and our business, I forgot about this, our business actually shot up quite a bit. And I didn't know what the ranks were or anything like that. So I'm, messaging back and forth with Kelly. What does this mean? What does this mean? And, she's always there to be helpful. So, thank you again, Kelly, for your willingness to be available to us when we have questions and need help. But, we're getting close to the rank of Sapphire. And I'm like, well, is this real? Are we really this close to Sapphire?
Or what is Sapphire?
Or I knew that there was a volume associated with that, but then we started learning about that. And then we went to another event after that with Eric Worre. Yeah. Right. It would GoPro.
Yeah. And that was a game changer.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That
changed my opinion.
Yeah.
Of network marketing.
Yep. I would say the first event that we went to, the OG event, totally gave us 100% confidence in the company and the leadership. And then GoPro, when we went to that opened our eyes to that network marketing is truly a profession. It isn't, it's had some stigma over the years, different people for different reasons, but that's where we saw it and we went, wow, this is truly again, we're in a huge coliseum, full of professionals. And I'm looking around going, these people have made a profession out of this. These are professional people. Right. These are doctors and lawyers and different, people who really
people
are sharp and they know what they're doing. And that opened our eyes to go, wow, okay. Yes, we already learned that the retail was amazing. We were making very good retail income. And that was okay. We weren't going to complain about that.
No.
What opened my eyes there was seeing the financial freedom. And we do fine. Our businesses do very well. We have nothing to complain about, that's for sure.
Right.
But we didn't really have a retirement plan, and we didn't really have a plan for after chiropractic, or God forbid, if something happens where all of a sudden Todd can't treat people, because, his job requires his physical body. What if something were to happen to him?
And it requires my presence, unless I can bring on another doctor and, we can do that. But this is an area for us to, to really experience residual income and financial freedom.
Right.
So I'm just going to pause just for a second. In a minute, we're going to be getting into our talk. And I just want you to remember this moment right now. Okay. So our daughter literally just came in and she had just taken a shower and she crawled behind us because we're staying at my sister-in-law's house in Colorado, and she grabbed clothes. Just remember this, okay? Just remember this. It's going to make sense at the end of our talk.
I don't even know where he's going with this, but whatever.
it's going to make sense.
He totally ratted you out, Morgan.
It's going to make sense. So anyway, so that changed our view, of network marketing.
Yeah.
And we came away from that event with a different passion, a different fire for what we were doing. And it was 3 months later. You can share that part. 3 months later,
we earned our Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
And, for the most part, we've started winning and earning things, the trips. We won an iPad. We got the Bulova watch.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think we missed the very first trip. I remember Kelly calling and saying, "Oh my gosh, you were just a few points from some trip." And I was like, "Trip? What do you mean trip? We didn't even know that we're trips."
We've been in the business for 6 months.
Yeah. So it's been nothing but just excitement and generosity on the part of Organo. They are so over the top generous. If you haven't been on one of the OG getaways, they spoil the crud out of you.
Mm-hmm. This was our first.
This was so much fun. This is us with actually very good friends of us, Sean and Maria. They are on the right. Well, actually, it's Dr. Bob with Maria. I should clarify.
Well, Dr. Bob and Kelly.
We have Bob and Kelly there in the middle, and Jacob. That's our leadership for our team. And Todd and myself there on the left, and then we've got Sean and Maria there. And she is the acupuncturist who was in our practice with us, and she got on board, and we all went on this getaway together. We took our kids. We always take our kids. We're very family oriented, and so it's been just amazing to be spoiled and be able to bring our kids and for them to see all these amazing places and do all these amazing things and things that we never ever would have done. I mean, not that we don't go on trips, but we weren't going on trips like that, and we weren't.
And so this
living
is
the high life.
This is just evidence, with the company that we're involved with Organo, just how extremely generous they are with their incentives and with their compensation, and really it's fringe benefits for just going out and sharing and, caring for people, for sharing something that we have available to us and sharing it with them so they can experience what we've experienced. We have that power, within a sample packet, within one sample of coffee, or just a sample of spores. In my case, which led to coffee and more coffee and more coffee and more coffee. Well,
and it's something we can feel 100% good about giving to someone because we know it's high quality, it's organic, it's met all the certifications. So we can with 100% confidence share this with people and feel really good about what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
can I point out one thing too?
I wish you would.
Obviously, I know there's excellent teams all throughout Organo, but I just want to say how wise our leadership is because look at Dr. Bob Short's Go Green Bay. I just had to throw that in there. Being from Wisconsin.
And that's another thing. Today. So we were, we're in Colorado, but our Packers, they
live in Texas.
They pulled it out. Well, they're in Houston. So
they originated.
Yeah, we beat the Cowboys today. So it is an extremely good day. In Wisconsin. But anyway, so we're going to move on. We're going to move into some of the nuggets that we were talking about, going into some time management. And I hope that this is, you're going to get something of what we're going to share with you for the next, 15, 20 minutes. And what I would encourage you to do right now is to take out a pad of paper or, if you're old, new school or whatever. Old school's paper and pen. Which I still do. I'm trying to do my cell phone more and more, taking notes on my cell phone, but I would encourage you to take notes from this point forward. And so we're going to talk about time management. We're going to use the acronym TIME, T-I-M-E. So write down T-I-M-E and leave a little space in between, each one of those. And we're going to share just, what we have found that has really helped us to be successful with our business. This is by no way or shape or form, the magic formula. It's something that's helped us. I would encourage you to take this and to tweak it to fit you and, and who you are. But so
especially if you're busy, or if you feel like you get overwhelmed sometimes.
Especially if you're busy.
Sometimes that does happen to me where I get overwhelmed and I'm like, oh gosh, there's there's so much to learn. And not that that's a bad thing. It's a really good thing because OG has OG Academy. They have all this training, endless training, excellent leadership. So if you want, you could literally just learn and learn and learn and learn. And it's just sitting down and really looking at your time. And so should I go ahead and start with?
Yeah, let's just jump into the very first one.
Okay.
So
T, is just to sit down and think. And so I'm going to give this a go. But I think if we were to think about how important that what we think about is, we would think about what we think about a whole lot more. So wrap your brain around that.
Think about that.
Basically, what I'm saying is just, it is so important that you pause and you really take time to think about what you're thinking about and what your thoughts are and what's important to you and what's important to you in your life. And
we've been given that gift of thought, and it's one of the most amazing forces that's out there.
Right.
We should be taking more advantage of it.
Right. And thoughts can be fleeting, where they can come and ideas can come and, things that we maybe want to do in our lives, but they can also just pass by if we don't capture those thoughts and we don't write them down.
Yeah.
And so what we like to do is just once a week, sit down. And at first, this might be a little bit more challenging if you've never done this before. But for time management, just really sitting down and making a chart of your week, of your upcoming week. So for us, it works good to do it on Sundays and just look at the week ahead. And,
I'll throw out some suggestions if that's cool with you. Like we talked about watching football. You could turn the volume down unless you just really need to hear it. But during a football game, if you're watching football, if you're watching TV, period, turn the volume down or turn it off, whatever. And that's time that you could use to do that. Folding laundry, preparing, meals for the week or whatever the case may be. There's time that you can, to sit down and really do this. And so for us, like she said, it's Sundays, and we've just made that part of our week.
Mm-hmm. And so starting out with the schedule, what we would recommend doing is when you're sitting down and you're thinking about what's important to you, just kind of put it into bigger categories.
Yeah.
And so for us, our faith is very important to us. So our faith comes first. Our family is very important to us. That comes second. And then our financials and our career, those things come third. And so when we very first sit down and we make our calendar, what we do is we block out, first of all, just the inevitable. So
block out your, but this would kind of fall into the I a little bit, which is integrate. Okay. So integrate this into your schedule. So take those things, but take your block items. And I'm so sorry that I'm completely interrupting you here.
I'm used to it. We've been married a long time.
We've been married for a long time, and it's still going to be powerful. It's better when she says it because I just love listening to her talk. But integrate it into your calendar. So those block items, going to church, going to, to your work, things that are just something that it's just something you do every day and you can't get away from it. So go ahead. Mm-hmm. So we lead a small group.
Yes. Well, first of all, the hours that you just have no choice. So for most of us, that's your 9 to 5. So you're going to put your 9 to 5 on there, or your 7 to 11, or whatever shift that you work, put that on first. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to go to your next category. So for us, that's our family. So after we get our work on there, our faith is first. So then we block out our faith time. So in the morning, we like to get up, we read scripture, we spend that time with God. And so we block out that hour at the beginning of our day. Right. Then we block out our church time, which is on Sunday, sometimes Saturday night. We block that out. And then we block out our family time. And so we look at our calendar, and I use different colors. I like to color code just so I can really look at it and get a balanced vision of where my time is spent. And so for family time, maybe you've got your kids have sports, or you want to have a family game night, or you want to make sure you're eating supper together, incorporate, if you have kids, incorporate them into this and just ask them, hey, what's going on this week? Let's get those things on the calendar, because those are important. You want to make sure you're not working your business during those times. You don't miss your kids' ball game if you don't have to.
Right.
You are sitting down and
I want to add this
together.
one. This one is a must. Mm-hmm. This one is a must that has to go on the calendar.
I know what it's going to be.
And this is an absolute must. If you're a couple, if you're married, you have to have a date night. Mm-hmm. And she puts hers in pink. Okay?
Hot pink.
So you have to have a date night scheduled every week. I believe it's very, very important, maybe very, very, very important that you have that scheduled so that you stay connected with your spouse, so that you stay balanced, in your relationship with them, because they're your partner. And so you want to make sure that, that they're getting the attention that they need as well. Mm-hmm. If you're single, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity for you to. I just saw Jacob's comment. I'm kind of laughing.
Wow!
But that's an opportunity for you to. That's me time. go have a massage, or
take a hot bath,
go do something
meditate
for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. I had a thought there, but it was one of those fleeting thoughts, so it didn't get any traction inside my brain. I skipped this slide, but going back to asking yourself, what is really important, and then have the wisdom and courage to build your life around your answer. And then we're talking about schedule. A question just came up on what calendar do we use. Tina still likes the old-fashioned write-down calendar. And so this is just one of those at-a-glance calendars that she uses. The person that asked this, they've already went by, but so she uses the color coding to block off those times, and she can at any given time look at her calendar and see, okay, I've got some time right there for whatever, or I know that this is family time, this is my business time, this is whatever the case may be. Me, I like to use my computer, I like to use my phone, and so I'll block things out using technology. So there's many different apps posted in here right now. Connection is unstable, so hopefully we are still okay, and we will just keep moving. Go ahead with.
One thing I did want to ask is that everyone works together, and we're all a team, and we're all helping each other, and we're like this huge mastermind group where we all can work together with our thoughts and with our beliefs. And so one thing that I would love to ask is, if you have a system that works super great for you, or if you have a certain chart or just something that works super great, please, go ahead and leave that in the link, or leave a link to that, so that other people can find that. I just started out, I Googled, I think, just time management charts, and look at different ones and see what works for you. But the beauty of this, and what we found, is when we thought we didn't have any time because obviously you can make retail at this pretty easily. It doesn't require a ton of time. But for us, where we decided, no, like, this is a career for us. This is a profession. This is something that, is going to take care of our family for the rest of our lives. This is something we can pass on as a legacy to our kids. Then we knew, okay, this is important enough that we want to chunk some time, and we want to dedicate some time, because you do have to work this business. You can't just sit on the couch and expect that, you're going to become a diamond. You have to work.
Maybe.
And so,
but you do have to work.
Yes. And so
it is network marketing.
What we did is we filled out all those times, and then we looked at it and went, wow, there are a lot of blank spots. And so in those blank spots, maybe just, who knows, wasting time.
Mindlessly doing whatever,
Yeah.
An expression in northern Wisconsin is we like to putz. So we found we were putzing a lot. I would find myself out in the garage or in the yard, or what we'll still putz, but
now we make time to putz.
But yeah, it's scheduled putz time.
Right. And so, make that schedule, and then look and go, wow, okay, I guess I do have 15 minutes here, or a half hour here, or maybe an hour there. Another thing I want to make sure we don't miss is chunk out the times that are important for your business. And one of them would be this call. So, I've had people even on our team say, oh, I keep forgetting about the call, or I didn't have time, or, oh, my kids needed me. Our kids know that we have this call on Sundays. And so we put that on the schedule, and that's going to kind of bring us into M. So I was integrate things onto the schedule that are important to you. So you're going to think about what's important to you. You're going to integrate what's important to you onto the paper. And then M is going to just make sure that all of your family, your loved ones, the people in your life, they're all on board. They've got things on there that are important to them. And so you're all on board. You all know what's going on. And they know, like right now, they know we're doing this call. And they know after this call, we're going to go play. And so there's no, stress about that, because it's like, okay, from this time to this time, that's what we do. And then it relieves so much stress, and you get that call done. So put put this call once a week on. If for some reason, like absolutely,
Kelly just wrote on here, it's a non-negotiable call. This should be a part of your Sunday night.
Maybe you work on Sunday nights. Okay, that would be excusable. But then mark out your time Monday morning, or the first opportunity that you have. Make that a golden nugget on your calendar that's going to happen. Not, well, I'll listen to it next week sometime.
Right.
Put it down and make sure it happens.
if you leave it up here, it's not going to happen. Once you write it down and you put it on paper, or you put it in your phone, whatever, whatever, that makes it tangible. That makes it real. And so it's more likely to happen once you make that commitment.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And so
then events,
I want to know, I want to do the E.
Okay. So, now I see where you're going with this. So,
all right. So I love this. I need your help. I cannot find my time. Well, hopefully after tonight, we're helping you to find a little bit of time, because there's 24 hours in the day. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Hopefully we're sleeping. We're sleeping for 8 hours. We're working for 8 hours. That leaves 8 hours a day that we can build our empires, that we can build our fortunes. So there's time. It's not about having time. It's about making time. And what's your plan? Tina was just talking about how we need to make sure that everybody's on board, and that does require some planning. And I love this saying right here. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so the last one that we're going to go in is E, and that's expect interruptions. I think just having the expectation, don't expect that they're going to happen all the time, but just expect that you're going to have interruptions. Life is still going to happen. Things are going to come up, but don't get bogged down with, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this just happened. It can just be, like water rolling off a duck's back. It's just going to happen. It's just going to roll on by, and you just roll with it, you deal with it, and it becomes part of your pathway to success.
And so you just adjust.
And you adjust
your
to it.
Schedule.
So
you
my
change
daughter,
it a little bit.
My daughter walks in, and I just happen to look over, and we have this great nonverbal communication where we make goofy faces at each other. And I'm surprised that I didn't just die laughing, because she walks in and I look over and she's making a goofy face at me. And she knows I'm on this call, but expect those pesky interruptions. Morgan, if you're watching this, I'm not calling you pesky, but you were being pesky. So anyway, then she crawls behind us to get her clothes, and then she walks out. So that could have been, but we're just going to make this a part.
She was respectful.
We're just
knew.
We're just going to make this a part of the call, because hey, it's
life.
It's life, and so this is just part of the business, and you're gonna have those interruptions. Interruptions everywhere. So expect them, but move on.
Yeah.
All right.
One other little thing I just want to throw in there about the schedule. So let's say that you sit down. I'm not sure if we touched a whole lot on the color coding, but
I'm going to go back to that.
For family, we have a certain color for our family time. We have a certain color for our work time. And then, we have a certain color for our faith time. Like Monday nights, we do a Bible study group. Wednesday nights, we lead our youth group. Sundays, so those are all a certain color. But then let's say you do that and you look at your calendar and it's like this huge, massive rainbow, because you really honestly don't have where you have 30 minutes or you have a half hour or an hour to, chunk out to work this business. And so the beauty of it is that if that truly, truly is the case for you, there is social media now, and it's just so much easier where you can literally, if you're in line somewhere, we all get hung up where, we just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck at a light, or I'm in line at Walmart or the grocery store or whatever. There are little chunks of time where you can hop on social media and it takes 1 second just to follow up with someone. Hey, did you, how are you feeling? All of those types of things.
Everybody has to go to the bathroom.
And everybody has to go to the bathroom. So when you're in the bathroom, that's a really good time.
Why not? I mean,
I'm just saying.
You got a couple minutes.
That's not our original. That is from Mr. Jacob Bukowski, the genius.
Yeah, so we stole that.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
So just know that, this business, you can work it into any kind of schedule. You really can.
Yeah, from the busiest of the busy schedules. And then just something too that we do, we made the decision that we are going to start getting up earlier. And sometimes that may require that we go to bed a little bit earlier. One of my favorite sayings is that you get more bang for your buck with a good night's rest. And I think that's compliments of Dr. Bob. But getting a good night's rest is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And so, but we try to get to bed at a decent hour. Some nights it's not possible, but we've also made the commitment that we're going to get up a little bit earlier, because we believe that personal development is so important. And so we get up, probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the mornings, and we do our morning devotionals. And then we're doing a program right now through with Bob Proctor, and that's under the tutelage of Declan O'Donohue and Kristen Moulter.
Tutelage? Is that a word?
I hope so.
Tutelage.
I didn't just make up a word.
Y'all learned a new word, tutelage.
And you just said y'all.
That's from Emily. That's from Emily Morrow, listening to her.
But so we get up early. We've made that commitment to get up earlier so that we get our personal development time in. So then we do our reading. We have a book of the month that we read. We listen to audios probably every single day, but we're taking a good couple of hours before it's time to. We have one child that still is in school, and so we get her ready for school, and then it's time for us to prepare for our work day. But I do believe that you can find the time, but you have to make the decision, and if you want things to change, in your business, this is one of my favorites, that in order for things to change, you must change. You must first change, from Jim Rohn. So, but it's making that conscious decision. And then, the things that we're thinking about, adding them to the calendar. Yeah.
The other helpful tip for us has been just to work a little bit smarter. And so, in the morning, you're getting ready, right? Like this is huge, naturally just happen. Like we shower, we get ready, you're spending time in the bathroom. Our bathroom is now basically our university. And so we get up, we have our little JBL speaker, we turn on our phone, and we plug into, like he said, right now we're doing Bob Proctor. And so while we're getting ready, we're listening to Bob Proctor. We're getting our mindset right. We're getting our thoughts right. We're constantly doing self-improvement, and we're coachable. We're learning. That is so important in this business. You can't expect change, like he said, if you're not willing to make some changes. And so, if you're too prideful and you think that you have it all figured out, you're going to have a tougher time. Why not listen to the people who've gone before us and the people who have already paved the way? And, success leaves clues, and just listen to them. So that's how we start our day, is on our we call it our university bathroom. And, we listen, and sometimes we'll listen to the same thing over and over and over, just because, we're getting that instilled into us. Yeah. And then also our car is our next university. We have a drive to work. And so again, we're listening to that on our drive. So we're finding ways to work that in. That's not taking any more time away from our family. It's not taking any more time away from other things that are important to us. It's just working really smart during that time. But
that's also going to help to solidify, what you're thinking about, because that causes us to have, bigger conversations, and to, our conversations have, I don't know, they've progressed over the years. I remember, we've said we should record some of our conversations, and, because it really does cause us, we dream a lot. We like to dream. And so that's just really solidified when we plan our week, going back to that. So what we're thinking about and what's important to us is changing. It's constantly changing. And so that's why it's important for you to meet at least once a week, maybe even twice. I mean, you're probably going to meet more than that. We're talking every day, but it's just so amazing how much deeper, our conversations.
Well, just how much we've changed. Over just the three, what have we been in Organo? 3.5 years?
3.5 years. So before, 4 years in March. And I know right where you're going with this too.
Go ahead.
No. With Organo, Tina mentioned earlier that with the OG Academy, your back office, all the tools that are available to you,
Think and Grow Rich.
You should be reading Think and Grow Rich every single day. There's so much to gain from that book. It's amazing. I never knew. I started doing that over the last month and a half, and just the information that you get out of that, it's ever changing, because you're ever changing, because you're constantly becoming a bigger, better, maybe not bigger, but a better version of your previous self.
I'm just going to give my sister a huge kudos. I got to grab something real quick. You keep going.
And so
I just happened to see this.
Oh, and so with Organo, it's not all about what you're going to get from Organo, which is a lot, because they, like we said earlier, they're so generous with the way that they compensate us, and that they incentivize us. But maybe I made it up another word. But it's who you become. We're constantly growing, and I believe that that's a result of this business and planning. You have to plan this. Go ahead.
So I just thought this was kind of neat. We were just sitting here, talking about Think and Grow Rich and how thoughts are things. And I just looked over and happened to see, we're in my sister's bedroom. They're all in the living room and as we're doing this call. But I looked over and I happened to see there on her bedside is Think and Grow Rich. And so I think that's a sign. Just, it's kind of cool. We were talking about how important this book is. And I also think it's kind of cool just to show what kind of a team that we have within the beauty of Organo. But it says, Debbie, you flew 1,000 miles just to be here. You are a trooper. Put the same commitment to your business and you'll be a diamond in no time. Love, Jacob Rakowski. So Jacob signed this book for her.
How cool is that?
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of neat that that's sitting there. And so
a quick quote. An extraordinary life is all about daily, continuous improvements in the areas that matter most. So how do you know what areas matter most? Well, you have to start with T. You got to think about them.
Right.
And you've got to write them down. Then you've got to implement
Search your
them.
heart.
Then you've got to implement them into your into your calendar. Then you've got to make sure that everybody is on board. You could call it making a plan, but make sure that everybody is on board. And then E, expect interruptions.
And then just be willing to adjust accordingly. Stay positive, have a positive attitude. There's going to be interruptions. There's going to be complications. There's going to be problems in life. That is the world that we live in. It's up to you what you want to make of this business. It's up to you what you want to make of problems when they come up. We see problems as opportunities. How fast can we deal with them? How fast can we find a solution? And how fast can we move on?
Absolutely.
And so one thing I thought would be fun to share, we're getting ready to wrap up. I think we thought, we'll keep this call at about 45 minutes tonight. One thing I would love to encourage is people who are commenting here. Thank you for your comments. And, just thank you for being on this call. Thank you for your time. But I think it would be beautiful if people would do this in the comments here on this call tonight too. But if you want to just throw out your time management tips, things that have been helpful for you. I did this on my Facebook earlier this week. And so in closing, I thought it would be just really cool to share some of the things that people shared. And so we have a friend of ours, Bill, he said, I just put it out there. What are your best time management tips?
Yep.
And he said, work smarter, not harder. And so we kind of touched on that, like making our bathroom a university. Michael Thompson says, ask oneself how many things on your calendar God thought up versus you thinking them up. List 2 priorities and treat yourself when the most important things are done. So that's important. Reaching a goal. If you have something on your calendar and you reach it and succeed at it, give yourself, a reward for doing that. And then take periodic regrouping times for worship and perspective.
I love what Jeremy wrote.
Then he said, whoops, I gave 3.
Yeah.
Do you want to read Jeremy Heckles?
Can I read Jeremy? Yeah, I love what Jeremy wrote. One of our good friends, he says, never look at a clock. And then he put, just kidding. But anyway, so Jeremy writes, prioritize. There will always be things on your list of things to do that never get done. But as long as you get the important stuff done, that's what counts.
And that's why we touch so strongly on think. Take the time to think about what are you doing with your time? What is important to you? At the end of the week, what are you going to be really glad that you took the time to do? Sarah Hendricks says routine. Destiny Jackson says habit stacking. Rachel Hansen, meal prep helps a lot. Oh, I did want to throw that out there. For any moms out there, if you don't have an Instant Pot, get one. It's a lifesaver for us.
That thing is going all the time.
I love to cook.
It's a beautiful invention.
But I don't always have time. And so they really are amazing. If anyone on this call wants to know recipes or like really, really fast ways, like squash used to take an hour in the oven. Now it's like 10 minutes in my Instant Pot. I have lots of recipes, lots of really quick meal ideas and tips that I would love to share with you. Jacob and Megan had shared with us too. Jacob, maybe if you can leave that in the comments, the food service where you were ordering, healthy meals, because of course it's important we take good care of our bodies. And, eating junk food is not wise. So don't do that as your quick answer for time management. But there are ways to get healthy meals quick. And so Jacob, if you could share, or Megan, share that link. Someone else, Dr. Paul Charlton, who is one of our mentors and great friends, capital letters, delegate.
Love it.
Which is so wise. It doesn't hurt to hire someone too, to do work around your house, or, things that your time is better spent building this business. And so, if there are things that you just don't want to do anymore, hire somebody to do it.
Yeah.
It's worth that to do. Use the night before. Sharon Garrity says, use the night before to prepare things you need for the next day. Put them in one spot so you can get out the door on time in the morning. Being on time is important. Planning ahead, grab and go. Let's see.
Dr. Bob puts focus on winning, WIN-ing. What's important now?
That's excellent. And then,
so yeah, great.
Oh, here's a good one. Don't turn on the television. I don't think we even realized, if we would have put it on our calendar, how much that we were watching TV, it would probably be super embarrassing. Now we hardly watch TV at all.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple shows that we may sit down and watch with our kids.
With our kids, yeah, we sit down and watch.
It's really taken a back seat, and our life is so much richer and fuller now. So
yeah.
Weekly to-do list. Roxanne shares.
It kind of goes back to the thinking, the T. So
Diane Kozer, I just want to share this one. Diane Kozer put, don't look at Facebook. Yes and no. I think that's super smart. It's how you use Facebook.
Yeah.
And so, be intentional when you do get on social media, because obviously social media is such a beautiful platform. We used to have to pick up that 1,000-pound telephone to call people back in the day if you wanted to share something with them. Now we have social media. And so just be wise with your time. Be wise with the friends that you have. Be wise with the people whose stuff you're reading.
Put it on the calendar.
Surround yourself.
This is how much time I'm
people.
gonna spend mindlessly on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Put it on the calendar and keep yourself accountable. If you put you're going to be on there for 30 minutes, stay true to that. Don't get bogged down with it. Really, really be diligent and disciplined in how you use your time. And I guarantee you're going to notice huge results. So I think as we come to an end here, I have a quote that I would like to read as we kind of wrap up or finish wrapping up. Every day, think as you wake up. Today, I am fortunate to have woken up. I am alive. I have a precious human life. I am not going to waste it. I'm going to use all my energies to develop myself, to expand my heart out to others. I am going to benefit others as much as I can. How powerful is that? We are truly, truly honored that you've stuck around and that you've spent the last 45 minutes with us. We hope that you've gained some pearls, maybe a couple of things that you can integrate into your schedule. And it has been a true honor to be able to share this with you. And as we wrap up, I think we'll just finish up with, it's simple, it's easy, it's organo. Good night.